All right. Hi, Humble. Thanks
Hi.
for coming in again. So we talked a little bit last week, and I'd like to go over what we talked about again from your standpoint, I guess. So it would be helpful for me if you could summarize what we talked about last time again.
Um, I'm kind of just getting into this marriage and you know, very excited at first. Now I'm just in a state of confused. I'm just confused because I thought I knew the guy I married, but obviously I don't because it's just continuous abuse, physically, emotionally, in every way possible.
Okay. So how long have you guys been married?
6 months.
6 months now. Okay. And in the beginning, like while you guys were dating, this kind of thing wasn't going on.
No, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't evident at the beginning. I thought his jealousy was love and concern. Being concerned, I thought that, me not hanging out with my friends was just, him looking out for me. But then it just got too overpowering. I don't even see my family anymore at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, when did this kind of abuse start? Physical, emotional? I don't know if it was different times or around the same time.
Um, Well, I've been knowing him for about 3 years, but it started, I'm going to say, about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
About a year ago.
And that was back when you guys were still dating, correct?
Yeah, the physical started about a year ago, but I felt too ashamed to tell my family because I didn't want them, I don't know, to look down on me or I don't know, to look at me and I guess they were just so happy at the moment of marriage, so I just went on ahead and married him.
Right, I see what you're saying. I'm hearing that you didn't want them to think that you would be with someone who would do that to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't, I still love him, um, but I'm afraid if I stay that, it might not end up so well for me at the end of the day. So, I don't know.
Well, my main concern would definitely be your safety. Um, the physical abuse is something that I know is uncomfortable to talk about. I commend you for coming in and talking to me about that because I know it's not easy. But if there were some place for you to go where you could be, you would have to be away from him, but you would be more safe. Would you consider going to a place like that, like a battered women's shelter or something like that?
Um, I don't really feel comfortable being away from him as
Mm-hmm.
crazy as that sounds. And even being here is making me really nervous because I told him that you're a woman therapist. He doesn't want me around any men.
Okay.
So just, I guess, the aspect of leaving him, I'm not sure I'm ready for that leap yet. But what would that do, or what would the steps be to going towards that if I was to?
Well, the first thing is that we would be able to keep you safe. There would be no more physical abuse. That's, like I said, the number one concern for me, um, because you don't deserve that, no matter what. Also, I'd also like to talk a little bit about what kind of things about him before this all started did you look for? Did you like? Like, what about your husband is keeping you around?
Well, at the beginning, he was just jovial, happy, fun loving, outgoing, and he would show this to everybody else. And of course, he displayed that to me. But then when I really got to know him, I just seen this dark side. Like if I don't do something right, it's a slap here or a punch here or a kick here, and I'm like, this is not what you showed me at the beginning. But I guess as time grew, I learned to accept that and just demean myself to that level of acceptance to that behavior. So,
Yeah. Okay. Well, it makes sense that you'd want to stay with someone who made you happy at first, and you definitely want to get back to that original thing. Is that correct?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there are also things you can do like couples counseling, where you could include him in the process,
Okay.
which would possibly help him open his eyes to the situation, which I'd be hopeful for. Do you think he would be okay with something like
Well, he told me, he said, I don't have a problem. The only
Mhm.
problem is with me, so I need to go get, that's why I'm here. He says, I'm the one who needs the help because I'm not doing what I need to do as a wife. So I'm not sure if he will be willing to come and get help, I guess. But I guess evidently he does need help, so I don't even know how, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
that? Okay. Well, have you spoken with any of your family members about this, or do you have any
No, he said that
friends
if
that
I
you can talk
was to tell anybody that that he would literally, that might be my dying day. So I'm not gonna say anything to anyone in my family.
and you still see him as someone you love, even though a statement like that, that's pretty, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, yeah. I guess since we met, I mean, I meant to tell you this. I am carrying his child right now. So I mean,
Okay.
that's part of the reason why I'm trying to incorporate him. But I don't know.
And does what is his name? If you wouldn't mind me asking, I seem to have forgotten from the last session.
His
Sorry.
name is Bennett.
Bennett.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. All right, that's a great name. Let me. And does he know about the child?
Um, yes, he knows about the child, and I believe he uses that as a means for me to stay in that relationship.
Okay. And well, I know you said you haven't talked with your family about it because you're scared because of what Bennett has said. And do you have any other forms of a support system, like friendships, other people that you hung out with beforehand, before he told you couldn't?
Yeah, I have this one friend,
Uh-huh.
Anna. She's really concerned about me, and because she said I don't come around anymore since I got married. I don't see you, and it's like I'm on the verge of telling her, and I know if I tell her, that's like telling the world. So I'm kind of a little hesitant, but I'm more willing. I do need to let somebody know what's going on with me before.
Definitely. Anna sounds like a blabbermouth to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Okay. Well, how does it make you feel though to not be able to express your feelings to someone other than me, but
It makes me feel really lonely, like I'm in a closed box. And that's basically how I felt from the beginning of this marriage. And I just feel as though I need to break free and do those things, which I used to do that made me happy.
what kind of things are those?
Um, hanging out with friends,
Mhm,
going to
friendship.
church regularly, um, just, shopping. Don't even do that anymore. He does all the shopping for me, tells me
Okay.
what I need to wear.
Mhm.
I guess exercising, I don't even do that anymore. So I guess going back to the basics of what I used to do would help the emotional aspect of that.
Absolutely. Well, what kind of steps do you think that you could take in order to get you back to doing some of those things that you used to like to do?
I guess the easiest thing would be to, I guess, the exercise, but I have to do it in moderation due to my current pregnancy. But yeah, exercising would be a definite, maybe walking.
You could do that maybe when he's at work or whatever.
Yeah,
Times when you have to yourself.
yeah, he makes me feel so afraid because he says the neighbors are always watching, and but I think that could possibly be a first step too.
Well, that definitely sounds good. I would like to hear more about that within our next session. Hopefully, you'll be able to take some steps to do things like that. but I'd like to go back 1 second and talk about again the physical abuse aspect and how I'd really I think it'd be a good idea to look into maybe some battered women's shelters, or maybe even tell your family, even though he said not to. Talk to your family about it because this is a problem that needs to be dealt with. It's not okay to live in that kind of situation. And I'm not trying to place any blame on you, obviously, because it's not your fault. But it's something that needs to be dealt with.
Have you had any success stories with this battered women's center?
There have been women that were in a situation similar to yours that go to battered women's shelters, and while it may not necessarily make the male partner very happy, it keeps them safe, and that's what we're looking to do here.
So there's no way possible that he will have access to me if I was to go to the shelter?
I don't know exactly all of the intricacies that go into these shelters, but I know that they will keep you safe, that you will no longer have to deal with the physical abuse. Now there may still be communication, but like I said, I'm not entirely sure about it. But the goal for next session is that hopefully you will get to do some of those things that you used to like to do, which included exercising
Yes.
and maybe speaking with some friends again. You don't have to hang out with them if you feel like that's too much of a stretch. But yeah. Does that sound okay with you?
That sounds nice.
Absolutely.
And can I get some more information from you about the battered women's possibly?
Absolutely. I have a notebook with all the info in it.
Okay.
For sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you for coming in.
All right.